Hey everybody, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
We're back. And I have to tell you, I'm glad to be back doing our normal lives. I enjoy the lives that we do, with all the crews and all of that stuff, but it's nice to get back to the normal, routine that we have. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah. So it's nice. We're going to do some more lives coming up with some of the other homesteaders because I'd like to dig into some of those questions a little more. But in the meantime, we're still kind of recovering from the festival. At least I am.
I'm recovering from every day. My back hurts.
So
My feet hurt.
is it easier during the festival time,
Yep.
or is it
No,
easier when you're
every day
planning?
we're running. Every day we're running. It just depends what sometimes it's dictated to us and sometimes I get to pick and choose.
Well, I would imagine though the running is worse. Well, I guess not worse.
It's
It's more physical doing the planting and all that stuff. I would guess,
yeah, it's
or is it just all the same?
it just depends on what the chore is.
Mm.
I mean, I was up, when Corky was pregnant, I was up in the middle of the night running to the barn in my pajamas checking on her, so that's just part of the life.
Yep. We I got a few pictures from the festival that I'll share with you guys, but it was good. We got kind of rained out. It had poured the night
Oh, it
it
did.
had poured the night before, so everything was really muddy. So we were scrambling to lay hay down where people could walk and those kinds of things. But we had a lot of fun. We had a silent auction, and it raised $2,400 for the fireworks show for the July 11th festival. So that's really really good,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's exciting
But
because the fireworks show was phenomenal.
yeah,
I mean, I would go just for that.
yeah, yeah. So you guys mark it down on your calendar, and July the 11th. And we were joking with some of the people at the spring festival, and I told them, what's better than a big fireworks show? And they're like, what's that? And I said, a privately held big fireworks show. You come in and there's security at the gate. The gate's locked in behind us, and we get to just enjoy it. And so it's not a lot of people comparatively. It's just as big a fireworks as the city has, but there's 150 people there instead of 700 people
And
there.
it is right there.
Yeah,
You could feel it.
yeah,
And the music, it's very touching.
yeah.
It was a great time.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward to it, but
Hope you guys all come.
yeah, but and it will be here before we know it. So put it on your guys' calendars for July the 11th, and we'll have ourselves a good old Freedom Fest fun day. And it's interesting. Our festivals are I don't even know if you would call them festivals, more community get-togethers, really. It's not like the Midwest Apprentice Project or SRF or any of those. It's not commercial. It's a bunch of people coming together to eat and celebrate. Like the Spring Festival really is designed around celebrating life because this is the time of year where all the babies are born. This is the time of year where all the plants are coming up, and yeah, and
Trees are starting.
then we get into the July one, and that's always based around freedom, and that's why it's called the Freedom Fest. And then we get into the Harvest Fest in the fall, and that's really just about reaping the rewards of all that hard work that that really starts in December and January, and concludes in the fall. And then we have the Freeman Festivus between Thanksgiving and New Year, somewhere in there usually, and that's the community holiday, and it's just a big potluck, and we just get together and hang out, and like a big family getting together for a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah.
And so I don't even probably shouldn't call them festivals, but I just don't know what else to call them.
No, they're festivals.
You know,
It's not just a regular old day.
yeah, I guess
We
that
eat together. We eat.
I guess that's true.
We plan. We
Yeah, yeah, I guess that's true. We'll should get some hellos in. Start at the top. Well, first I want to begin with Kent, like we did the last two times. Evening Tag and B and all our fellow freedom fighters. Welcome to another evening of our regular scheduled unprogramming information get together. Kent, welcome in. Bessie Darling, hello, hello. Kelly Davis, welcome in. Carrie says, I love the new thumbnail pick. Yeah, I was playing with building avatars for B today, and some of them are hilarious. You haven't even seen
some
them all.
of them.
Yeah, I made one for you
You're
today.
supposed to be working, man.
I was working. That is all working.
My back hurts,
Fr-
and you made pictures
Friday is my social media day. So Friday when I get up, I usually come up here to my office and I work. I build the live. I get caught up on everything, and so that's what I do on Fridays. But anyway, I built this one avatar B today, and she's got like man arms, like
Like man arm.
I guess she does have man arms. Never mind.
Somebody's got to lift that water tank up on the roof.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, Lisa, welcome in. Squatchy, how are you, my friend? We're going to talk about the Squatchy Cup a little bit tonight. Let's see here. Nitos, how is my off-grid buddy doing? Let's see here. The king himself, Jeff, Juicy, Hefty, Lefty, Amazon, Mud Dogger, Slick. Phyllis is in the house tonight.
Phyllis?
Yep. Jane Marie, welcome in. Greatest name on the internet.
Half bubble
Is
fun.
in the house, as is Dana Green. Matthew, welcome in. Good to see you. Paula and Kent are joining the fest for this evening. Very little rain so far this spring. Unusual for Tennessee. Yeah, I'll show you guys a picture here in a little bit, but we got a ton of rain. I think we got about 3 inches in a rainstorm just a few days ago. And so everything's overflowing here. Skanes Girl, good to see you. David Strom, what's up, buddy? Good to see you as well. Let's see. Carrie says, "Be so like you need a good old homestead massage."
Oh my gosh, I would almost give anything for a massage right now. And a soak in a tub.
Yeah.
Some Epsom salt.
Lazy Loper, welcome in. Hey everybody, Lazy Loper has been under the weather here for a little bit, and so those prayer warriors out there, it'd be good for you guys to, the whole family to get together and send some well-wishing prayers to Lazy Loper for a speedy recovery. And it sucks when you don't feel good, and especially you don't feel good for, an extended period of time, more than a day or two. That
Is
gets
it like
even
the
worse.
whole sinus thing, sore throat like everybody else?
I don't know. I'm not. I
That
don't know.
seems to be going around everywhere.
Yeah. And even if I knew, I wouldn't say anything because that's all, personal stuff. But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
just send some prayers.
Yes, I agree.
Mrs. Hacks is in the house, and I'll tell you guys something about Mrs. Hacks. Mr. and Mrs. and Junior Hacks are the freest people I know. And it's some people I strive to be like. And it's hard, though. I mean, it's not, they have just somehow found a way. And
Did you get my pip pick?
yes, your Pip.
Pip.
I didn't
pick.
know it's in the slide deck, but I didn't know what it was. I
My-
just put it in there.
My pip pick.
Yeah. What else? Terminator's in the house. Terminator, good to see you. Oh, guess what we got in the mail, Terminator? After all of that, so Terminator, I think for Christmas, right?
I don't know. It says it's pretty ripped up.
Yeah.
It doesn't even say a date. It says
Yeah.
Canada 175.
Yeah. So anyway, sent some seeds for Christmas, and Terminator kept checking in back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, I don't have anything. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Well,
Well, that says January.
yeah, it was postmarked in Kansas City, Missouri on January 9th. But we just got it. How crazy is that? But you want to show the...
Yeah, and it's a Christmas card.
Yep.
And there's seeds in there. Sugar maple.
Look at that. Sugar maple seeds. So we've got to get the green thumbs to get all of those sugar maple seeds growing, potted, because sugar maples are a great thing to have on a homestead.
Challenge accepted.
Yep. Hey, Camber Smith, good to see you. Make sure I missed nobody. Look at that. Life with Mike and Jen is in the house. Jen, how are you, my friend? We miss you guys a ton and cannot thank you enough for your guys' incredible amount of hard work, not just on the festival, but, we were in the greenhouse today, and I'll show some pictures, but, you guys, Jen, specifically you, Jen, when it comes to greenhouse, really set B up and saved her a whole week, probably,
Oh, longer than that.
so that's all off to a great start. Citizen broadcasters in the house, and I've got a slide about you, well, really about just your efforts, and the stuff that's going on in the last meeting that we had up here. And so we can talk about that just a little bit. Let's see here. Look who's there. Miss McGill.
Back.
What is up? Another Canadian? Yeah.
Hey, from Canada.
Okay, yeah. Squatchy says, thanks, guys.
We miss you.
Loper at half throttle digestive issues. Yeah, I knew that, but I didn't want to say anything. So, because I don't know what people want to say, what to share and not share. So,
I just think it's amazing that this whole cold came up. It's like everybody around the U.S. got it
Yeah.
cold
Yeah, we had a typhoid
last week.
Mary at the festival because everybody came out of it sick.
Well, we know people in Arizona that had the same
Yeah.
issues. We had. It's like,
Yeah.
huh, interesting.
Yeah, Mrs. Hack says, B, I got your rabbit poop collected.
Oh yeah.
The poop dealers.
I'll meet you in the back alley.
Yeah, Stan Guthrie, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see here. Oh, Tamber says, I've been trying to send a package to Canada since before Christmas. Yeah, Jen says, Lisa was my partner in crime. Yeah, and, you know, Lisa, I don't know if she's in here or not tonight, but what an amazing person she is. You know, that lady gives and 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 gives. You know, and just a huge heart. And, you know, we have a hole in our community building. We donated a whole set of cabinets to Lisa and her Wood Witch Craftery.
Mm-hmm.
And if, you know, it's so funny, everybody uses it. You go down there, there's a salve and a lotion and a potion for everything. You know,
Almost everything.
there's a lot in there. And, you know, it wouldn't be that way if it wasn't for Silver Lining. And, you know, if I don't know if she's watching or not, or if she'll watch later or whatever it is, but we love you. We miss you. And can't wait to see you soon. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Terminator said, I'm glad that you finally got them. Yeah, we are too. And we're going to make use of them. And when we get them growing, we'll post some pictures. Mm-hmm. Terminator says, my daughter made 20 gallons of syrup this year. Mm-hmm. They are just boiling the last of it off. Can't wait.
20 gallons.
Yeah. Adding 20 gallons of maple syrup to your stores every year.
That'd be delicious.
That'd be pretty significant, wouldn't it?
That would be a blessing.
You know, I read today that, this isn't going to sound related, but it is. I read today that Dairy Queen's ice cream can no longer be classified as ice cream.
Why?
Just because of the way they make it, you know, it's not really ice cream anymore. But anyway, it'd just be so great to have real maple syrup. And I have friends in the homesteading world in Michigan and in some other places who make syrup and have sent us syrup and stuff like that. But it'd be really nice to have our own supply.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
Or at least I think it would be absolutely fantastic.
Well, it's just one less stroke.
Yeah. So we have had this incredibly eventful couple weeks. I'm going to try to catch you guys up on it. And it's been full of triumph and
challenges
and tribulation and
pain.
Yeah, Squatchy says it's a non-dairy product. Yeah. Right.
Oh, it does say I think it does say non-dairy product on it.
Jen says, pretty sure my abs have had more of a workout from coughing this week than they had from crunches and sit-ups in months. Yeah.
Oh, you got the old cough.
Yep. Oh, look at that. My buddy Mario's in the house. Good evening. Happy Friday to all my groovy homesteaders. Find fun, loving community friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dairy Queen's ice cream don't melt, says Tambra. Yeah, but anyway, it'd be nice to have all of our own. And, you know, I was talking to Jess today from American Roots Farm, and, you know, her and I get into some pretty deep, interesting conversations. But, you know, we were talking a lot about securing our supply lines and, you know, how you do that. And, you know, that doesn't mean you're securing Walmart, right? What you're doing is you're making it so you don't need Walmart.
Yes.
And it is an absolute challenge to get there. There's no single part of it that's easy. And you don't, and guys, you just don't fight the okay, how do I produce my own maple syrup? It's not that simple. I mean, I wish it was that simple, or how to grow enough food. There's a whole nother piece of it, which is how we unprogram.
What do you mean by how do you unprogram?
So how do we get out of this feeling that, you know, like when you come out of the city and you don't even know your neighbors.
Right.
Right. And how not necessarily everybody's got an ulterior motive. And
well, I don't hang out with my neighbors here.
You hang out with a lot of your neighbors here.
Not like that guy.
Well, yeah, maybe not every single
Not
neighbor.
like that guy.
But you know who they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a super cool conversation. So B, why don't you tell us why you're carrying around a bloody glove? You have
well, I was
blood all
walking
over
up the driveway. I didn't have a good day.
She probably don't like this picture.
And that was not, no, yeah, I have to those were my good gloves. And I didn't realize that would happen. I don't know why I didn't realize that would happen, because of course that would happen, but I wasn't thinking. I was thinking about something else, and I didn't realize that I had blood all over me.
Yeah, you do. Look at that all over your neck.
I'm glad my mouth was closed.
Well, why don't you tell them what happened?
That I had an injured bird that needed to be helped.
Did the bird
and
live?
I didn't know, because I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it enough. And
Yeah.
so I tried, but it didn't help. I couldn't get it. And so this was me. I was like, what is this, 600 feet from the house?
Yeah, probably.
I was tired.
I like how one of your pant legs you have high waters.
Actually, they're capris, but I have my muck boots on. It was so I was headed out to do chores and I found that there was something that needed assistance.
Have you been into fashion your whole life?
Well, my headband matches my shirt.
Not tonight.
I got this red thing back here.
Hey, RN, welcome in, by the way.
Yeah, no, this was not a good night, but I that's part of the life, right? I have to.
Right, well, death is part of it. An injury is part of it.
Injury is part of it.
Right.
And you try to do your best by all of your lives that you're stewarding.
Jen says, dang, remind me not to call you for help.
Right, I had to help him.
Was this like waterboarding a chicken? Yeah.
No.
American Root says the irony of a bloody glove is wearing the Chicken Whisperer t-shirt.
Right. That was not planned, obviously.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that I had that shirt on, right? That was the shirt I wore all day long.
Yeah, Tamara says you can only do what you can do.
You can
but
only
you gotta
do
try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Carrie says, Jen, don't mess with B. Yeah, nobody mess with B.
well, the wing was all like bloody, and so like when it flapped, I thought I had held it down to like help it, and when it got one of it, the injured one got away, and when it flapped, it like, and I was like, ah! And so I had to like try to catch that wing and tuck it back in the injured part.
Dana Green says you've been caught red-handed.
I've been caught red-handed. Well, so the blood thing or the hand. Okay, so I realized that I could not help. Like it was beyond help. And so I had to help it be, I had to help it, the bridge. And so
You had to help it build a bridge?
I had to help it with the bridge, like
With the bridge?
beyond the bridge.
So you had to put it down.
Yes.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that usually like it just soaked right through the glove, and I did not realize that the top part of the glove was not waterproof or liquid proof.
Mario says if the glove doesn't fit, you must
It
quit.
shrank.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, I didn't realize all that, but
And
that
then
was
you
a
had
weird old picture.
Oh, that's the weird. First one got stretched somehow.
Oh.
They're the same picture. It's
Hi,
okay.
my name's Stretch.
Hi, my name's Stretch.
Yeah, so I was headed out to do some chores and was like, oh, I'm gonna stop and check my goat because my goat was gonna have a baby like any day now.
Any day now.
For a month. No, 2 months. Because so when I noticed that both of them were like, hey man, this is like they're really pregnant. The neighbor was like, they've got to be getting close. They're really getting big. And so the neighbor husband was like, you really should lock them up at least at nighttime. So because it was chilly out and you don't want them out and they drop, in the yard. And then if there's two, then they'll walk away from one and attend the other, and it's cold and they're wet and they die. And so he was like, you should probably just lock them up at nighttime. That's what I would suggest. And I was like, oh, great idea. So I'd been locking them up for a month. And then one day that I let Brownie out, she kidded. And so I was like, dang it, I'm not going to let that happen with Corky. And so Corky's been locked up for the month that Brownie was locked up. And then also this whole another 4 weeks, like any day now, she's going to have a baby any day.
And this is literally a discussion we would have every day.
Every day. I would go out there in the middle of the night to check on her. Like there were times I would check on her and like she would be like crazy dilated. Like I would be like, whoa. I took a picture and sent it to Louise, and Louise goes, huh, you're probably hours from
Yeah, any day now.
and from from kidding, like seriously, any day. And then like the next day, she's like, any baby? And I'm like, no. And she's like, you've got to be kidding me. That's weird. I've never seen that. Like, and then not, and then like, and then not. And then so any day now, any day now, any day now, any day now for 4 weeks. And so
You can see in this picture, Mama just gave birth not long ago. She's exhausted because it was not not pleasant experience, right?
no, it was
Why don't you
not.
tell them about the.
So I was headed out to do chores, and I had a deadline that I had to be at before they closed. And so I was gonna just peek in. And so when I went and I ran in to peek on her, I don't even know how she got out of her stall. Her stall door was open and she was laying like at the opening of her stall, and the baby was like, its mouth was out and a foot was out. And then I was like, it's time. And so I called Tag and I said, hey, I need you to run my errand for me because they're closing and I need you to go do this. And so he was like, oh man, I had a plan I was doing. And I was like, I know, I'm sorry, bud. You got to go, bail me out. And so he went and did that. And then I called the neighbor and I was like, like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, can you, like assist, like maybe pull, if you can hold onto the foot, like pull the foot. And I was like, it's not, and she was like, well, do you want me to come over? And I was like, yes, please come over.
Big shout out to Misha, by the way, who's an incredible asset and an incredible knowledge base. And she was a gigantic help.
She was like, she was just like a doctor. I mean, better than a doctor. She was my neighbor friend. She was on Johnny on the Spot. I called her and she was over within 5 minutes, and she's like, okay, like the mouth is cold and like we don't know how long this has been here. And I was like look at those feet. And she was like, those are the back feet. And I was like, okay. And so she's like, I don't know how long she's been like this. And so she was like, I have to help her, and if that's what you want. And I was like, do what you think you need to do. I don't know what to do. And so she like pushed the back feet in, pulled the it was a bull, and a boy, buck, sorry. And
I hope you're not pulling a bull calf out of there.
Yeah,
We have a whole nother set of problems.
That'd be like a miracle. No, buck, sorry. And he didn't make it. So the neighbor said, I think that there's another one in there. And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, I do. I can feel a skull. And she was like, if it's okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull it, because I don't know how long this situation's been going on. And I was like, if like that's what you feel is what needs to happen, then let's do that. And so she was like, all right. So she reached in and grabbed the back legs of this one. It was a little girl. She pulled that one out and just started cleaning the airway and, rubbing and, trying to, and Mom like was just literally standing there, like not like paying attention to this one, not paying attention to that one. I was like, she's in shock. Of course she's in shock. Like,
wouldn't you be?
Look what just happened. And she was just like not moving. And so like neighbor just took the baby, put it in front of Mom, just like, still working on her. And she was like, Mom just was like, oh, hey, that's mine. And starts like cleaning. And so she's like, okay. Neighbor's like, all right, I think, Mom's doing what she needs to be doing. She feels around. She's like, I think that's it. And then like within 30 minutes, baby tries to stand. She's like, all right, baby standing. Mom looks fine. Keep an eye out for the afterbirth. Good job. Gotta go. And I'm like,
I joke and call her
Thanks.
Vlad the Impaler, and if you knew her, you'd laugh. But so anyway, we would like to introduce you, our online Life Done Free family, to our new baby goat. That's name is Any Day.
Any day.
Yep.
Any day now.
So we've been blessed
Any
with
day.
Any Day. And the recommendation of Any Day came from Jen. I sent her a picture because they had just left prior to this, and she had made the comment just kind of jokingly that Any Day is finally here, and so anyway, that is Any Day, and so now we are up to 4 goats,
4 girls.
but all females, which is exactly where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
Squatchy says they named their twins Chili and Burger.
Chili Burger.
And Mrs. Hack says they named their lamb twins Fridge and Freezer. You know, B gave me a lot of crap when I named the calves
T-bone and tallow.
T-bones and tallow, but I'm not the weird one. Look, all of these people do this.
Freezer, fridge, chili
Right,
burger.
Chili burger. Right.
Come on, chili burger.
Then you get the girls involved, and we end up with names like Blackberry and
Blackberry,
Brownie.
Brownie, Corky.
Yeah.
Well, Corky's after your mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Squatchy says Any Day, great name, Any Day. Yep. So.
Your mom actually said, "I don't mind you that you named a goat after me."
Yeah. So this is the mama. Her name is Corky, which was a
Corky.
nickname my mom had.
Growing
And
up.
so, yeah. And for the win, Squatchy says they taste better when you name them.
We're not going to eat these guys. It's not our plan.
Yeah. They're lawnmowers, hopefully.
We're going to love them.
Yeah, you're going to love them.
We're going to love them and feed them
And call them George.
and call them George.
But our animal escapades were not over.
No. The tag was like, "I want an animal too.
Yeah.
And I'm going to up your animals and I'm going to get me a wild animal."
Yeah, so Easter Sunday morning, we are getting ready for the festival. And Jess and Joe from American Roots was coming over to help. And I'm walking down to the community building, and I hear there's an owl hung up in the tree. So apparently,
Hanging.
yeah, so this little guy decided,
girl.
or whatever it was, decided,
They, them.
yeah, that it would get hung up in the tree by some fishing line. And
Yeah.
it apparently was there all night or whatever, and because it was very exhausted, it wasn't even really fighting. And Joe, you can see Joe in a tree there, climbed up and cut it down with the assist of Snack Force One,
Yep.
and they got it
Oh
down.
yeah, she was all like,
Yep.
she was like holding the bird with one hand, like holding the bird's face down with one hand, and like she like snuck out of her jacket, was like, and then she like maneuvered it up and down over this bird, and I'm just like, and I had her phone. I felt like such a failure. I had her phone, and I was all like walking in close, and I was getting this good picture. And I was like, oh, zooming out and getting Joe up in the ladder, and woo, look at that, and this bird, and looking at his face. And then I was using Jen's phone, so I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't push record.
Mm.
And she was like, "Did you get a good picture?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, look, here it is." And she was like, "No, wait, where is it?" And I was like, "Right here." And she was like, "No, that video is 2 seconds." And I was like, "What is it?" And it was literally Joe walking away. 2 seconds of him like after the
Yeah.
bird was caught, after it was put in the Kubota, he was walking away from it.
The unfortunate part of a story like this is actions have consequences. And, I got my shotgun. I walked down there. I was just going to shoot it.
Well, because if it was injured and
Yeah, because they've been hanging there all night long. And,
it was over the pond, like area.
I wasn't gonna let it suffer. But Big O Softy Joe and Big O Softy Snack Force One and Big O Softy B.
Well, they
and-
had this like net on this like long pole, and he just like stood there holding this. This bird was so tired that when he held that net up to like try to scoop it, that bird like clenched on with its legs and like sat down on it. It was like, thank you, Jesus.
So they rescued this owl, which has been killing my chickens, by the way.
Yeah, we think it was.
Well, have you had
probably-
much more since it's been gone?
No.
Okay.
But I mean, there's still at least one hootie owl out there. You hear it at night.
Yeah, so Captain Save an Owl. They got it saved, and they got it in a cage, and they put it in the community building. And then we go doing our work for the day, and take out water and all that good stuff. And then everybody goes home.
Yep. Party's over.
Party's over. Except now I have an owl in a cage sitting on a table, in the community building. So
And Tag's a softie, so
no, but
he's
now
not
no.
gonna
Here's the thing.
allow the bird to
I'm not.
suffer
But
in a cage.
this is why I should have shot it in the tree. Because now that it's down and out of the cage and clearly alive, I'm not just going to kill it. So anyway, I did a bunch of research and I found a owl rescue in over by Kansas City. And so there's a picture of me and the owl, and we drove to Kansas City together so that I could deliver the owl to this owl rescue. And do you like my picture of the owl?
Yeah, I love that. Did you learn how to do AI, huh?
I've been playing with it for a while, but do you see the difference on the hat? What's the hat say?
Free. I can't see what's underneath it.
It says free indeed.
Indeed.
So anyway, we had to take the owl for a drive. We did. We dropped it off. But interesting to me how all the softies who wanted to save the owl did not have to participate in finding a place for the owl to go. The guy that wanted to shoot the owl had to go find a place for the owl
Spent
to
3
go.
hours driving it to Kansas City.
Right.
And then when he got there, they were like, hey, do you want to participate in monetary donations so that we can take care of this bird? And he was like, you want me to give you money too? Damn it.
Yeah, Scotchy says he's trying to make me feel better. Yep, we did that years ago with a crow and an owl bird rescue near us. Let's see here. Terminator said, I named my piglets after my daughter's son-in-law. After my daughters and son-in-laws. Love that. Nito says, growing up, we had a mare that would not have her foal unless a human was in attendance, as she usually needed help with pulling the foal. Yeah, pretty cool. So anyway, we had the owl debacle. And I am not sure.
Oh my gosh, that was a crazy minute right there too.
It's been a weird week.
Yes. I had
That's Rosie, by the way, and in her mouth.
Yes.
Yeah. Is a.
I don't know. That's the thing. It's gigantic. It looks like it's got beaver teeth and no beaver tail. It's got a squirrel tail and beaver teeth.
It looks like just a big squirrel. But a very large
That is
squirrel.
not a squirrel. That is a something. But it was on the back deck because I was inside and I heard one of the dogs like scream out. Ah! And I was like, what was that? I thought one dog maybe bit the other dog, which would be weird. So I ran outside and they were mauling something down the hill. And so I ran down the hill in my house slippers to see is it a cat? What is going on? And by the time I got down there, they were playing tug of war with it. So I was like, called them off. And this one is like, no,
it's mine.
no, I'm not letting it go until it quits moving. And so she would not let it go. She literally would not let it go until it quit moving.
Yep, having guardian dogs on your farm are critical, in my opinion. They're an amazing thing, and that's Rosie right there, and she's the most challenging of the two. But anyway, I think it's just a big squirrel. Jen asked if it's a groundhog.
Most challenging?
I do.
don't. I think the other one is.
Not for me.
Because this one is like at my feet and she listens. The other one is like, I don't even know who you are. I think she's almost deaf.
Yeah, but wait a second. You just said you called him off, and Violet called off, and this one ignored you.
I think because she knew that it was a threat. I don't think either of them would have let it go. It was up on the house deck.
Yeah, it's not a prairie dog. It's got a the same tail as a
groundhog.
Squirrel. I just think it's a big squirrel, but
that is not a squirrel.
Hey, Gratitude to Grace, welcome in. The second picture you see there is we have potatoes popping out of the ground. Look at that. Look at all those little plants.
Yeah, the wind pushed the hay off.
Yeah.
And so I took a picture of it before I put the hay back on.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Mario says those dogs are the best working tools you have on your property by far. Yeah, and they're great at what they do. They come from good bloodline. They know their job and they do their job. Yeah, I couldn't imagine having the farm without them. They keep a whole bunch of things at bay. A whole bunch. Like we have no coyote pressure at all. We don't really
that we
have,
know of.
not really. We don't really have a lot of raccoon pressure, bobcat pressure, that stuff. We still have aerial predators.
This thing was the size of a raccoon.
Yeah, yeah, yep. And it's dead now, isn't it? All right, we get to some positive stuff.
Yeah.
So we got. So I was going to share this with you guys. That's my big pond. It's 2.5 acres, and I know you guys have seen many pictures of this, but it filled in one rain. It filled 6 feet. So I went and did the math. So 2.25 acres filling 6 feet of water is 500,000 gallons of water fell and landed in that pond. Down the hill, whatever, runoff, whatever it is,
And, like,
over a night, while we were sleeping.
Yeah.
It was 6 feet down. Woke up and it was full.
It was
And,
8 feet down because it's not overflowing now.
No,
It's
it was
still about 2 feet down.
no, it's about 6 inches down right now because we got that next rainstorm, which gave us a little bit, but it filled about 6 feet. Anyway, I found it fascinating that at a 2.25 acre pond, 6 feet of water is 500,000 gallons. Yeah,
That's a good way to store water.
that's a great way to store water. And this is why I keep building ponds.
Yep.
Right? When we moved onto this property, there was one that was really old. It was, 60 or 70 years old. And it was only a foot or so deep because it had filled in so much. And so we broke the dam, cleaned it out, rebuilt it, built this one, built the one in paddock 1, and then built the other one. I've got a space for one more that I'm going to build someday. But right now I have 4 ponds, and I would encourage anybody that has any kind of acreage at all, if you can find a way to build a pond, I would put it high on your priority list. They're just that important. Hey, Regenerative Orchards is in. Good to see you.
How come it looks like we're so dark?
Let's see here. They blend into the property and the people perfectly until it comes to wanting some of your snack food. Then they're very gentle and adorable. Oh yeah, they love the idea of living here. They've got a great life because we get all these big, because there's people at our farm all the time, right? Why are we dark, did you say? Because the sun's going down and lights on and you're in that weird middle phase. But anyway, we have lots of people coming over. We do a lot of eating, and so they get to walk around to everybody and get fed all the time. Yeah, they like that a lot. And Nito says, we had a hard freeze last night. All the fruit on the trees and everything growing in the garden areas froze.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Well, the next 6 or 7 slides are all your garden stuff going on.
Well,
so,
that in the orchard is a bagworm of some kind that
yeah,
I
you
would
got
like.
to get that
I
taken
would
care
like for you to help me take care of.
Take the torch up there. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I'm not a big light the field on fire type of person.
You're not lighting the field on fire.
It might.
You don't get that done, you're gonna get no fruit off that tree.
Yeah, I'd rather you help me take care of that problem.
And what do you got growing over here? Those are beans.
Those are beans.
sprouting.
Yeah, look at that. So they were not sprouted this morning when we watered, and then we watered and it was hot today. Greenhouse was like 90 degrees
Mhm.
and came back from fertilizing the potatoes, and this was already immersed.
Yeah, I'd be interested. Regenerative Orchards, when we get bag bombs, what I always do is I have a little handheld torch. I just burn them off. But is there some other way that you prefer or that you think is better? That's the way I have always done it. I'd be interested.
If
to
you
know.
can reach it.
Okay.
Yeah, this here is Pippin.
Okay,
So
so the
this is
first
what
picture is
Pippin
your
was
rabbit.
talking.
That's
This
your
is
rabbit
what
shit.
Pippin was talking about. Yeah, so I have a couple of beds in my garden, in my gardens that I put plastic over last year. Left it over because the weed barrier that I purchased melted in the shipping container when the neighbor caught the field on fire. So I had this plastic in the other shipping container that you had got from the lumberyard that was over some lumber, which I should have known. But I took that and laid it over the beds and planted in it to suppress the weeds from the area that I was trying to plant in. And it did that. It also killed everything underneath it. So I had asked a couple of people in the area if they had some rabbit droppings that I could help to amend those beds with some other stuff to try to bring back life into these areas. And Pippin sent me this picture and was like, come and get it. Like, she had it available and
When you going up there to get it?
buckled it. Well, I would have liked to have gone today, but I got in a pinch with all the time and then the live, and so I need to touch base with her and make arrangements for that. But that is going to go a long ways in helping the areas that I'm in desperate need of. So I appreciate that.
Your next picture is Snack Force One in your greenhouse, right?
Yeah, so this was before part of the clean out. We were moving stuff around. She had started a bunch of snail rolls and trays at her house and brought them up for planting here. And we were going through them, and I just snapped a picture of her.
Yeah, they cleaned out the whole greenhouse. Hey, everybody, real quick, we'll be cool. Which, first of all, welcome in. Says, hey, I just watched Deep South Homestead. Miss Wanda's in the hospital, so let's get the prayer warriors out there, right? And let's get Miss Wanda back, because I'll guarantee you, Danny needs her.
Yeah.
She is his everything. So let's get the prayer warriors to that.
Thanks for the update. Yeah, this is Jen Ann. So this is the corn. If you can see that first crate, she had started some sweet corn in snail rolls and brought them up here so that they were already established by the time we got them into the garden. And we are getting ready to have our last frost, so we will be able to put this corn out shortly. Jess and I took your
I don't even want to know.
semi-truck tarp that was folded up and drug it up to the Three Sisters area, now Four Sisters area. And we laid it out because we were supposed to get a rain. We laid it all out thinking that we could kill the grass that's growing in there, because there's some weeds and stuff that came up after you put the dirt down. There's stuff popping up through it. And we had thought that we could go in there, lay that down for 2 weeks, and then pull it up, make furrows, plant this corn, push it back, plant it. And then the corn, if it takes, will be ready for the second sister. Oh, and then we have sunflowers in the greenhouse also for the fourth sister, for that same area.
And who's the fifth sister over there?
That's Silver Lining.
Yeah.
She was so. I said, let's go up there and see what we've got to deal with, and she was like, okay. And so we went up there, and there was this pennycress that's growing like everywhere. And she's like, oh, we need to get this out. And it pulls right out. I mean, it's super easy to pull out. You just got to bend over and do it. And so she's
bend
like,
over part's the hard part.
Yeah, bend over, pull, stand up, bend over, stand up. And so she said, I'm gonna pull some of this out. And I said, okay. And I said, well, I've got to go and do this other thing because it's time sensitive. And she goes, okay, well, I'll meet you over there as soon as let me finish pulling this stuff out of this garden, and then I'll head over there and help you out. And I said, okay. Well, like, I had to pass back 3 times through that garden, so every time I passed her, I would cat call her so that I'm like, oh, there you go, woo woo. And she just waves like, okay, leave me alone, I'm still working. So yeah, I snapped a picture of her. She probably doesn't know that.
Jen said you snuck in a few pictures when we weren't looking. Oh, just wait, I have more. All right, babe.
Lucky.
B sends me pictures during the week. I just put them in because she sent them to me. I think the first picture, I'd like to just make a comment that if you can find a way to do it, being able to move water in the back of a UTV and, water and transport, and is so nice and handy, is it not?
It is game changer.
Because you can literally, when it gets to be 100 degrees out here in July here, B will be able to drive around in the air conditioning and water, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, like in the morning, sometimes you wake up and it's like 7 o'clock in the morning, it's already 85 degrees, and you're like, oh, I got to get out there and water because we haven't had rain and I don't want that new stuff
Yeah.
to suffer. And so
Yeah.
you get out there and you try not to wet the leaves and it's nice to turn the AC on or just to drive and like hang. You can literally hang out the window and just
Yeah.
kind of like use the wand.
And I would say the picture underneath that's tomatoes.
Yeah, we had to. So Jen started Amish paste and Abe Lincoln tomatoes in Arkansas in a snail roll and drove them here and dropped them off. And then Jess and I took them and unrolled the snail rolls
I have some
and
great pictures of that.
transplanted. Oh, did Jess send you some pictures?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. And then the other ones, those are pumpkins that also were transplanted because some of them just do better than others. So
Yeah, Permatopia Farms in the house. Mandy, good to see you. Says, so I guess I can put it up there. She says, sorry, late getting in, found a big copperhead snake by the garden, so I had to get rid of it. Yeah, well, it's just been a get rid of animals week, apparently, because it's been that year, you know, for us
that's
too.
just part of life
Yeah,
out here.
it is.
You know,
It is.
you want to be good stewards to the land and to the lives and lives. The lives.
Lives, pumpkin.
I said lives.
I know what you said.
It has been a long day. My back is so sunburned.
Will be cool. Got some a couple of bee colonies last week. That's pretty cool. You probably haven't even checked on your bees yet, huh?
No.
Okay, there you go. Here's your rolls.
Yeah, look how perfect those are. So she used bubble wrap on those, which really holds the dirt in pretty good.
Look like cinnamon rolls.
Yeah,
Speaking of cinnamon,
they sure do. Look at how perfect those. If anybody is trying snail rolls, that is a good way to start them.
Yeah, Jess from American Roots was telling me today. She said, I've gardened a lot of ways in my life, and I don't think I'll ever do something else. That is really nice.
Yeah.
That works really well.
Yeah, so we are getting ready, just how these are the tomatoes right here. We were taking them out of these rolls, and transplanting them into little single pots, 4-inch pots. We need to buy ourselves 2 weeks, 3 weeks-ish.
2.
Before, we usually plant about Mother's Day, tomatoes and peppers. They're very...
yeah, but I think everything's early this year. Look at all your stuff that's blooming, the currants.
Yeah, well, I'm early as well on some
Yep.
things. Anyway, so we're going to take these and plant them, but just like these are done, we're going to take the sweet potato slips that we'd taken a sweet potato, you put it on the dirt and just keep it there. It starts to produce slips. You take the slips. I was putting them in water and letting them root. Well, we had Yoda brought some sweet potato slips to the festival, and Jen was able to score some, and we're going to take them and lay them into the dirt and snail roll them for a couple of weeks so that they can get acclimated to the dirt and get some food, because right now they're just in water. So get some food, get some dirt, get acclimated to that, so that when we go to plant them, it's not just into dirt outside. It's got a root ball with dirt, food, worm castings.
Jen says you sent her the idea and she ran with it, and it was fun.
Good. I'm glad that she had fun. I'm glad she ran with it.
Yep.
Look at us benefiting.
Yep, and these right here, this is the poop twins.
Yeah, we were pooping it up. We were making the fish emulsion tea, and then we were putting it on. We started on the potatoes, the red potatoes in the orchard, and then it got too out of control, and it went to everything, basically everything in the orchard. And then also the potatoes and peas in the other.
Jess says, shitty job, man.
Shitty job. Yeah, see, I have a long sleeve shirt on because my back is burned.
Well, what's funny about it, if you guys actually, and you can't see it in this picture, but if you actually look close, that's an embroidered dress shirt from
The last company.
you know, the company that I left over COVID, the holding company. There's logos on the sleeves of those shirts, and B now uses my dress shirts.
I do because back when we were in the corporate world dish, we were I had gotten some suits for you, and I was like, oh, I gave the suit receipt to the accountant, and I said I purchased him like, I don't know, 5 suits, and here's the receipt, like here's the paper receipt, like proof. And he goes, you can't write off suits because you can wear suits other places. And we're like, that's ridiculous. How can we write them off if he like legitimately has to have these for work? And he was like, well, if you get them embroidered and it has just the company logo on it, we'll talk about it. And I was like, we'll talk about it. It's a yes or no, dude. And so I went and I got these logo embroidered, and he was still like, the accountant was still like, no. But anyway, his whole thing was, no, you, even if they have embroidered, you can still mow the yard in them. And I'm like, nobody will ever mow the yard in an embroidered shirt like that. Well, so now I do.
Yeah, now you do.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna wear these shirts, and I'm gonna wear them until they die.
American Roots says it's been life changing in the garden. I'm not going back. She's talking about the rolls. I love this comment. Gratitude to Grace says I wanted tomatoes this year and found an old open packet of seeds, so I planted them all, hoping to get a few. So I now have 102 tomato starts growing.
You are so blessed.
Blessed. Right.
I wish I had 102 tomato plants.
Right. You will.
I'd start them all too.
Yep, you will. My back and neck are so burned, says Jess. Long sleeve dress shirt for me next time. Yeah. Well, I have a whole collection of long sleeve dress shirts.
She has her husband's dress shirts that she wears also.
Yeah. Yeah, gratitude for Grace says those shirts are great for protection from being in the sun.
Yeah, and they're lightweight.
Concerners friends, welcome in. Says hello all. Been copying last year here in the mid-Atlantic. Lots of rain in March and hot and dry in April. Lots of watering for our newly planted starts. It is that time. Look at that. How pretty.
Oh, beautiful tulips.
Yeah, this is the one thing that, and I try to keep my tongue because it's not really my role, but B likes to plant things in clusters. So your tulips are here and your other things are here. Like for me, I would have taken all of those tulip bulbs.
I know you would have.
I would have put one, I'd have
one
spread them
everywhere.
And just let them spread and
Yeah.
do their thing. But you,
Yeah. I like this because I'm like, red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. They're all,
oh my goodness.
they're beautiful. I like to see them all in a bouquet of
She's
tulips
Let's see
and
here.
comfrey.
Gratitude to Grace says, except I'm in an HOA and can only plant in pots. I haven't worked out the logistics yet. Well,
That's a lot of
just
pots.
102 pots.
Or that thing Jen has on her back deck.
Oh, the Ervo garden, whatever. I know what you're talking about.
No.
What's it called, Jen? That
tower garden.
that tower thing.
You could put 102 plants in towers. And you could be like, they're pots, dude.
What are you growing here? These are
my
beans.
peas.
Oh, these are peas, okay.
These
Just
are
coming up.
fixing my tomato soil.
Because these are where the tomatoes were last year. And so now you have peas in there
they're
this
gonna
year.
go, the tomatoes are gonna go right there
With them?
again.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull these out when it's time for tomatoes. They are nitrogen fixing right now.
Yeah, Jen says those towers are called green stalks.
Yeah, do a green stalks.
Yeah. Jen says they're so perfect. She's talking about the flowers. Those.
Yeah, she goes, those look so fake.
Yeah, they're
And I
not.
was like, they're not fake.
No, they are not fake.
She goes, I had to walk over there.
No, this is one of the swells in the food forest, and I just took this picture so that you guys could see it's really starting to pick up.
Elderberry
and
row.
grow. Yeah, that's a lot of. There's pear trees in there. There's cherry trees in there. There's lots of elderberry in there.
Gooseberry.
Gooseberries in there. There's all kinds of stuff in there.
Onion.
Okay. Hold on, we got a trivia question. Permatopia Farm says, B, trivia for you. What plant was once more valuable than gold in the 1600s?
A plant.
that was more valuable than gold in the 1600s. So what happened in the 1600s? That could be around the plague time.
Was it an herb?
Mhm.
Was it? It just says
Was it
plant.
thieves a plant?
It's a lot of plants. It's a bunch of stuff in together. Was it
Mm.
hyssop?
Hyssop?
Was it oregano? What was it?
She says, it,
IT?
IT.
What is it?
She says, it's a flower.
A flower.
Conserve Friend says, do you put seeds or seedlings in the rolls? It's seeds, right?
Well, you can do whatever you want because we're gonna put sweet potato slips that already have roots. We're gonna take the paper or the plastic and lay it down and put the dirt on it, and then take a slip and lay it in, and then lay one and lay one and lay one, and then roll it all up so that when it's rolled up, you'll have the plants around in the coil.
Yep, this is those trees in this picture are 4 years old. This food forest we began 4 years ago, and it's getting nicer, nicer, nicer every single year.
We're getting it.
Oh,
I got it.
Permatopia said you just showed us pictures. So they're tulips.
Oh, tulips? Really?
I could make a joke there, but I won't.
Huh.
Oh, this was fun. It's tulips. Interesting. Why were they as valuable as gold? Because other than being pretty.
They are pretty.
So I'm standing down in a hole. I took my auger down there with a 36-inch bit on it and dug holes because we got some poplar trees to plant down at the community.
Tulip poplar.
Yep, tulip poplar.
Tulip poplar.
And that was the tree crew right there. So that's Tag and B and Silver Lining, Snack Force 1 and Mario. And so we were the tree crew. So the first 2 trees planted at the community building were those 2 trees.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about this at the last live. We read the plaque, remember?
Yep.
Jen presented you with the plaque and gave it to you and read it.
Yeah, Nito said it fueled the Dutch economy, didn't it? Was a hype, the tulip craze. Interesting. Let's see here. I'd wait until like Mother's Day or a holiday when they go on sale and add a promo code and get an extra 10% off. Oh, she's talking about
the green stock.
Yeah, the green stock things. So, horseradish is coming up.
Horseradish.
Yeah, and I really like this picture because if you guys look close to that arrow over there, what you'll see in the background over there is guineas.
Oh, I saw 2 nests.
Yeah, so the guineas, man, I never seen this coming, never imagined. So the whole food forest is fenced. And the guineas have figured out that if they hatch their babies inside the food forest, the dogs can't get them, nobody gets at them. And so they get to raise their babies predator free in the food forest. Why this is important is because typically guineas, that sit on a clutch of, 30 eggs, by the time it's over, you got 2 left.
Yeah, it's like a 6% hatch rate.
Yeah, or live rate.
Natural.
Live rate, right? Because they hatch a lot, but they get lost in the weeds and they whatever.
Well, yeah, because the mom just takes off through the tall stuff and just literally leaves the babies.
Yeah. And so we end up with lots and lots of guineas. And so like last year you had a hatch of like 30 eggs and 28 of them lived. And
I was paying the ambers and baby
guineas.
Yeah, it's like I said, you guys can keep as whatever you can catch.
Yeah.
And then I sent Mom Amber a message and said, you better hurry up. They're catching birds and they're gonna keep whatever they catch. And she goes, no, we don't want guineas. And I said, well, they're already catching them.
Oh.
And she's like, I'm on my way. And I was like, okay, but just so you know, they're already catching them.
Yeah.
So I think they caught 14.
Yeah, I think it's an absolute blessing, and we're going to hatch a lot of guineas this year. And
are we?
Yes.
Oh, we are.
They are going.
We are going to.
No, the guineas are going to do it.
Guineas.
The guineas are going to do it because of the food forest. Look, when I was in there today, there had to have been 20 guineas in that food forest today. When I was up there,
I have 21 guineas.
Yeah, they're going to hatch a ton of them, which is why I keep trying to get rid of some of them.
You want to get rid of the guineas?
I want to get rid of some of them.
How many?
Well, I don't want to end up with 250 of them out there.
How many do you want to get rid of? How many do you want to keep?
I'd like to maintain 20 or 30 of them. You know, but anyway, to keep the ticks down, which is really, really nice.
Oh, they sat there in this pile,
Mhm.
and we were over what, about 100 feet away.
Yeah.
And I said to Jess, I said, look at that, look. And this guinea was in the center of the horseradish, just popping up and grabbing a bug. And then it was, you could just, because they have such white face with this bright red, cheeks, they're sitting there. His face is above the green, and he's just sitting there waiting for something to move. And I'm like, look, that's what they're doing. They're doing their job.
Yep. Yeah, and so you get to go out there and you get to work in the food forest and not be covered in ticks and not be,
Well, and these guys don't really damage the area like the chickens do.
So guineas in a food forest for us have made a ton of sense. And I've got a feeling they're going to hatch several hundred of their own this year because she's got 21 guineas now.
Well, half of them are boys out there. If there's 21, there's got to be 10.
Okay, so
10 girls and 10 boys.
Yeah, so how many will they hatch over the course of the year? Because what you had last year was
2 clutches,
9 guineas,
3 clutches,
and you hatched 30 more birds.
Well, I started with 5, and 1 died
Right.
through the winter, so there was 4, and it turned to 21.
Yeah, and so now you've got 21.
21
So yeah,
in
so
2 years.
they're going to hatch a whole bunch of them. Permatobi Farm says tulips were incredibly valuable because they were rare exotic import from the Ottoman Empire that became a high status luxury item.
Mm.
Cool. Terminator said I started with 1,000 seeds, 200 onions from seed, and all my other plants. I love that. Hey, no lives complete without a
Pack rat.
pack rats in the house. Said I appreciate guineas and horseradish. Popping in to say hello. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Scotchy says, do they taste like chicken? We were thinking of getting 10 to 20 here. I wouldn't eat them. I don't know. I would bet they're dark meat, although I've never eaten them.
Yeah, Johnny's mom eats them.
Oh, do they?
And she says that they taste like chicken. And I was like, are they like wild tasting? And she's like, what do you mean wild tasting? They taste like chicken. And I'm like,
Do they taste gamey would be a good way to word that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. This was the night before the festival, and everyone was just, kind of getting everything ready. I think that's B.
Nope, that's... Oh, yeah, at the sink?
Yeah,
No?
at the sink. Yeah, that is Snack Forces One's head,
Yep,
right? That's
Yep.
Killian, and that's you at the sink, I think.
yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And my laundry basket to haul stuff back and forth from the house to the
Yep.
warehouse.
We had a big old meal.
Those umbrellas were the part of the
Yep.
silent
The
auction.
crowd, I think, was fairly down compared to what it would normally be because, again, everything was muddy and wet and all that, but there was still 70, 80 people there.
Yeah.
I think by the time it was done. So it was plenty full and we had a good time. It's funny, the building's not big enough and I just built it.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how that works?
That's...
Yeah. Remember this? Or were you even part of this?
I was not part of that.
Okay. So they got a kite stuck up in a tree.
That's a tall tree.
Yeah. And so Jesse, Callie and Jesse's Jesse, climbed it to get up there and get
I
that.
bet he was barefoot too.
He was.
Wasn't
I
he?
guarantee you he was barefoot.
He was walking around barefoot. I was like,
Yep.
dude, you got mud in your toes. And
Yep.
he goes, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
He like hugged me so hard, and he's so tall, it like kinked my neck up, and it like took my breath away. And I was like seeing stars. I like backed up and I was like trying to breathe, and he goes, are you okay? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you hurt my neck. And then I walked over and I saw Callie, and I was like, oh, hi, Callie. And she goes, I heard my husband broke your neck. And I was like, yes, your husband did break my neck. Oh.
Yeah, I love pictures like this. If you ever want to know how an event went, here's your answer. Right?
He's so tired.
Yeah. So I caught his older brother a couple festivals ago sleeping in a cabinet.
In a cabinet.
Yep.
In the
And
corner of a cabinet.
this one, we got him sleeping kind of under the table.
Just hanging on the chair.
hanging on the chair and was out.
How crazy is that?
I wish I could sleep like that.
No kidding.
You can.
I probably could.
You can.
If I had a big enough chair, I could.
You're a great sleeper.
Yeah.
So this is the summary picture to what happened.
How the
at event.
festival went.
Yeah. These are the first two pictures there. That's those same two young men. The one closest to the vacuum is the one that we caught in the cabinet. And the one on the other side is the one you just seen that was sleeping on the chair. They were vacuuming up the floor, and the community building is just concrete. And so they were vacuuming up the mess.
Ella's got mud on his shoes and he's vacuuming up concrete.
Yep. The other picture is we got a bunch of these big tricycles, and this was part of the Squatchy Cup. So the Squatchy Cup was our first annual Squatchy Cup, and it's named after our fellow community member Squatchy, and who developed the trophy, which I'll show you a picture of. But anyway, if you look kind of down that picture, you can see the flags, and so they would race these.
It was a whole course.
Yeah, it was a whole course, and it was so much fun. And then they'd get down into the obstacle course, and then they'd climb up and over the tires, and then they'd go over this and that, and climb through this thing, and then
shoot.
Then they'd run to a shooting station, and then they would shoot, and then they'd go back through the obstacle course.
A lockbox.
Yeah, and there was a lockbox you had to figure out a key for, and anyway, it was a good, fun time. And the first ever Squatchy Cup winner belongs to the team Gunners. And I put a picture of their leader, the gunner leader.
Yeah, that's Trench-a-Lot-a-Door.
Yep, that is. We call him Trench-a-Lot-a-Door. You will have seen him in many of my videos.
Trench.
Always in a hole digging. So the Trench-a-Lot-a-Door and his team of gunners won the first annual Squatchy Cup, which you see the actual trophy on the other side. And so I will use my router and I will engrave the gunners on it. And we will just keep on plucking.
Yep, with a copper belt buckle.
Yep, with a copper belt buckle. And so this will turn into lore as years go on.
And this trophy is like 3D. It's not just one printed piece of metal. It's this whole intricate design. It is amazing that Squatchy made this. That it was handmade.
Yeah.
Well, homemade, handmade.
Yeah. Super, super neat.
Did you see they sell the cross back there
in
the building?
The community building. Yeah. Yep. Nope. Super cool. And again, we'll use it over and over and over and over and over again. And again, special shout out to Loper and Squatchy who, gave of themselves and, they never asked once what we could do for them. What they said is, hey, we're part of the community too. And here we go. And, there was a lot of back and forth between him and Mario figuring it out. And, but here it is, right?
Yep.
And it's there forever. And we'll continue the ring that's on the bottom of it's just a piece of cedar. But as the years go on, I'll add rings to it, much like the Stanley Cup.
Oh, I thought you were going to add names to the bottom. You were going to add bottoms to the bottom.
Well, so we'll put the gunners on there, and maybe after 3 or 4, that whole thing's filled. So then I'll add another ring.
I thought you were going to put like little plaques on it.
I am. I'll probably use my router, put it in that way, but it doesn't matter. We'll add rings, and we're going to create our own Squatchy Cup.
Yeah.
And much like the Stanley Cup, which that's what they do. They just add rings to it. And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, okay.
Over the years. But what I love starting traditions. They're just super, super cool, in my opinion. You know?
And it was a good time. It was fun.
Oh, yeah. Lots of laughing. Lots and lots of laughing. And, I get shot some video.
Did you record that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so are you going to make a...
I will. I got to slow down, but yeah, I will. But it was fun to watch them go down the hill, and they're hauling butt the best they can, and some of them are rolling, and it's just neat to be around a bunch of people who, at no point did we hear, "Oh my goodness, is somebody going to get hurt?" Right? Like it's just not. It's farm life.
Fun.
It's just farm life, yeah. And these people and their kids would run up and we put a BB gun in their hands and and to shoot a pop can and ride the big wheels and climb, and it was good. My kind of people,
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, congratulations to the Gunners and the Squatchy Cup, and thank you very much, Lazy Loper. Thank you very much, Squatchy, for helping us do that. That's really, really cool.
You're very kind.
Yep. I painted the cab of my truck. Look at that.
My goodness, finally. This truck, man. This is the most expensive junk truck ever.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever given you guys all the backstory to it, but there is a lot to it. So that's what I'm building right there. So
Finally, at least we get to see what it's gonna look like.
yeah, I'm working on it.
It's just like pieces all here and there, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fender, honey. Thanks.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So I have a four-door, four-wheel drive truck that I have now that I drive, but it's getting up there in age. And I needed to get a new truck. The problem is, I don't know if you guys have gone out and tried to buy a truck lately. I just cannot. I just, for the life of me, can't see spending $80,000 or $90,000 on a new truck.
You don't think you spent $80,000 on this?
No, not even close. I'll be
Yet.
done. I'll be
Yet.
done. No, I'll be done with half that. I bet I spend $40,000 on it. But here's the thing, babe. When you go to license it, it'll be licensed as a 1973 Chevy pickup. The licensing will be cheap. The insurance will be cheap. All of that stuff will be cheap, and it will have every modern convenience that a new truck would have. It's got power, everything. It's got air. It's got all that good stuff.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So.
Including a manual transmission.
It's got a, yeah. So tell you guys that story real quick. So I put a 6-liter LS in it. What's called an LQ9, an NV 4500 manual transmission. So it's a stick shift. Corporate 14 rear end, Dana 60 front end. It's a 1-ton frame. When we had shock, I mean, there's not a single used thing in it except the frame and the cab.
You're not putting brass on it.
I'm not putting what?
Or you're putting that shiny chrome?
No, there'll be no chrome on it.
Not brass.
It'll be all brown like that and black.
Yeah.
I'm not a big chrome guy. So, but anyway, so I am super looking forward to getting my truck done someday. Oh, we painted the cab. That's a big step. So I got the engine in, the tranny in, the transfer case in, the rear end in, the front end in. What else? Got the cab, all the body work's done for the entire truck. The cab's painted, everything's jammed. So this weekend, what we'll do is we'll put the fenders on, the hood on, all that stuff. Try to get that all in paint. I still got
What about seats? Have you tracked that down?
No, I haven't tracked that down yet. I've got the original ones that came in it, so I may just have them reupholstered. I may. We'll just see. We'll just see how it is when we get there. But anyway, this is a 5-year project, and I'm getting closer and closer to it running. So I'm excited about it. Just thought I'd share it with you guys. So a couple interesting things. One of the things we did in the months of trying to get the festival done, we had a local town hall meeting. Not town hall meeting. We had a zoning planning meeting. They were talking about adding a 2-year moratorium on solar, meaning that they were going to extend the regulations out, the deadline out 2 years, or they were talking about it. And most people in our community were for this because it just drags it out and drags it out and drags it out and drags it out. And I'm kind of on the other side of it, which is let's just get it over with. Meaning, let's put regulations in that are so tough nobody wants to do it, and let's make them fight right here instead of giving it 2 more years and
passing it to the next.
Yeah,
guy,
and it's
really.
and you don't know who the next commissioner is, and you just don't know. And so I'm a big fan of just getting it done. And I just want to let you guys know you can absolutely make a difference. The moratorium on solar did not pass, so they're going to have to create regulations. I hope they do. It seems like to me it's going to go away, that they're going to make it hard enough on them that they'll never do it. But I just want to let you guys know you can make a difference. And the first part of this is yesterday. This was in Rice County, Kansas. For some reason, Kansas is really being picked on a lot for solar farms, nuclear plants, AI centers, and all that stuff. And maybe they think we're just a bunch of dumb people out here. I don't know what it is. But hundreds of farmers showed up in Rice County, Kansas to speak their minds to a big power company, NextEra. And then all of a sudden,
The
same company. They're doing it in all kinds of counties. They know they're not going to get them all, so they're swinging at all of them,
Wow.
But NextEra canceled the meeting at the last minute, locked the doors, and had private security usher people out of the parking lot, kind of last minute. And then shortly after that, Rice County received word from NextEra that they had officially abandoning their windmill project for Rice County, Kansas. Congratulations to the farmers of Rice County. So you can make a difference. And I'm going to tell you, these farmers out in Rice County, all they did is stand together, just like we do here in Jackson County, and just like you guys should be doing in your counties.
Yeah.
Right? I'm telling you guys, commissioners, the people listen when you show up in force. You know, they're not going to listen to you showing up by yourself. But if you show up in force,
Yeah, you have to get involved. You
Yep.
have to go.
yep,
Somebody has to go.
yep, yep.
And
So-
y'all, you can't go to all of them. So
No.
if you have a group of people, then you can pick and choose. Like, all right, who can go to the Tuesday meeting? Okay, 6 of you go. You guys go. Thanks.
Yep. This again, one of the big things about why we go build community. You know, community is about a lot of things. It's not just about growing food together, although that's super important, and
Well, we
having
like
someone
to
to talk
eat.
to and have someone to help you build a barn. And it's not, but at the end of the day, it's about furthering your agenda, this incredible chase of freedom. You know, people get caught up a lot in community about, oh, you know, this person or that person or this or that. I'm going to tell you guys something. When you eventually, what happens is a community will get to a spot where they put all that petty, silly little stuff aside, and you go pin your ears back and you go fight, and you go try to become sustainable, and you try to get to a point where you're, you know, secure from a cooperative perspective, right? And that individual sovereignty absolutely matters, and you get to fight these things together. I can tell you guys from our county, when we show up with 300 people, it changes everything. It changes everything.
Of course it does.
Okay. And but you show up with one, and you know it's interesting.
Then
Citizen,
they push you around.
they push you around.
Yeah,
So it's-
they make you move
yeah.
your microphone.
Yep.
They push you back.
Yeah, Citizens
Don't get on the front
broadcaster,
row.
who's in here tonight, an absolute warrior. You know, she goes to all the county commissioners meetings, and often by herself, and she just goes and records them. And when she's by herself, you can ask her, and I'm sure she would comment in here. She gets she gets nowhere near as far sitting there by herself as she does when we show up in force. And when we show up in force, it's a whole
It is pretty
lot
cool
different
though that
gig.
she can pick up her phone and type a message to somebody,
Oh yeah.
and in minutes somebody shows up.
Oh yes. Yes. Yeah, she there was one day, it was actually had to do with one of our festivals. The permitting lady there at the county got a hold of one of my flyers that we were having I think it was the July festival last year at the community building, and then was
It's
in,
a warehouse. We
Yeah,
just store stuff there.
yeah,
It's
she was
not-
standing in front of the commissioner saying he needs to get a special event permit, and he needs to, you know, zoning and this or that. And so I got a text message from Citizen Broadcaster that, hey, they're talking about you. I'm like, cool, I'll be right there. And so I jumped in my car and ran right in there, and you should have seen the look on their faces when I walked in the door, you know. So they had completely backed off, and there's no issue now. But
Well, no, we don't. That's the thing. We're not doing this to get money.
it's not commerce. No, we
We
there's no
don't
ticket price.
charge anything. We
Right,
don't.
right.
Nobody pays it for anything. People bring a side dish
Yep.
that they want to share.
Yep.
We provide some side dishes that we want to share.
Yep. that's
Everybody gets together. We're eating, you know, the food that people donated,
Yep.
and we're chit chatting, and then people go home. You know,
Yeah.
we might play a game or watch a movie or
right.
have a quick conversation or a
Yeah.
meeting of some kind. But
Yeah. See, Citizen
not-
Broadcaster said right there, see, that was amazing when you showed up. But yeah, because they don't count on that stuff. They don't think you're going to stand up to them. And I'm telling you, as soon as you
Yeah.
do, everything changes. You know, now we've, luckily, with the work of Citizen Broadcaster and a lot of other people in our community, I'm in a place now where they'll call me to check on things, to make sure things are okay. You know, to find out how we're going to react to a particular thing before they do it.
well, it's because I think that they know that you're trying to find a solution too. It's not
Mhm.
you're not picking on them.
No.
You just hate the system.
Yep.
You know, the stupid petty rules that is for thee but not for me.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
come on, people.
Yep. And you know, it's funny, I took some heat this last week. There's a big thing, not a big thing. There's a thing going on in my county where they're accusing the guy that runs Road and Bridge. Apparently, he bought a bunch of stuff from Menards and then had the rebate tickets from Menards sent to his own house. This is what.
That's
Wait,
crappy.
yeah, but this is what's alleged. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so we say that up front, it's alleged.
Alleged.
And so what happened is when the county commission found about it, they turned it over to the sheriff, and there's an investigation going on. Blah blah.
Well,
So-
he could have had them sent to his house, and then he took them in and gave them to the clerk at the whatever. Like, maybe it was not like he didn't just send it to the courthouse in care of anybody.
No, he sent it to his home address.
Well, maybe
Well, that's the
because
accusation.
he was the one that was he was responsible for
Yeah.
them. Maybe he turned around and took them
We don't know.
every time they came in into the
Yeah, but
petty cash or whatever.
The point that I'm making is I took some heat this week because the commissioners turned the case over to the sheriff's department, and so people were all over our local Facebook page saying, basically hang him, blah, blah. And I'm like, hold on a second, time out. We are guaranteed due process by the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment says we have a right to due process, that we're innocent until proven guilty. This applies to everybody, whether you're, and I used these words, whether you are a MAGA or a libtard, it doesn't matter. Everybody gets the same rights. So let's let it go through its process. If it's found that wrongdoing was done, then he should be fired. He should be prosecuted. That's that,
And none of this good old boy network. That's right.
Yeah. Citizen Broadcaster said the county appraiser seemed to be targeting the community building. Yeah, I agree with that. Also says, I was told that the commissioner said he could pay it back. I was I was told that too, but when I spoke to the commissioners about it, they said that was not true.
That was unacceptable.
Yeah, and that they're going to let it go through the process. So here's the thing: I'm not suggesting that. I'm not even taking a commissioner's side. I'm taking the side of freedom. Freedom guarantees us due process,
right?
Guys, freedom doesn't work if we don't apply it to everybody, whether you like them or not. I don't care if you like the libtards. It doesn't matter. The freedom should be to them just like it is to the MAGA side, just like it is to an atheist side, and just like it is to a Christian side. It has to apply. Freedom only works if it works for everybody, and we have to be the ones to stand up, even to the side that criticizes us constantly. And we just have to be like that. And I don't think there's a middle ground there. And so anyway, I stood up for the commissioners and said, what would you like the commissioners to do? They turned it over to the sheriff's department. That's what they should have done. Do we want to make him hold a sign in the street? Do we want to flog him? Do we want to tar and feather him? I mean, this is all ridiculous things. Turn it over to the sheriff, and now let's follow. If you really want to help, let's pick up the phone and call the sheriff's department and say we're interested in this. Call the commissioners. Right. So let's keep it in the public light. That's where you go and let it go through its process. Now, if it goes through its process, and we don't think the outcome is fair, that's fine. We'll file a Freedom of Information Act. We'll get all the documents. We'll get all the way behind it. We'll file complaints with the Attorney General's office. We'll go through all of that. But we cannot deny somebody, especially if we don't like them. We cannot deny people that due process. It's just the way it is. And I won't be part of denying them their due process. But if it's found that that's true, that those accusations are true, he needs to be fired and brought up on charges. And I'll be the first one yelling, this is what needs to happen. But he's due process. That's my position. You agree?
I agree.
Okay. Let's see here. Where am I at? Tamber says, I hit one of those with my truck and it dazed him. Well, the dumb ass that Tamber is, she picked it up and put it in her lap and took it home and put it in a cage. Turns out that those owls will get you. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Concerned Friend says, are we talking $5 rebates or $100 rebates? So I don't know if you have, Concerned Friends, you know what Menards is.
Menards, like 11%.
And so it was a bunch of money. From as I understand it, it was a bunch of purchases. And this had been going on. He was the head of the
Road and Bridge Department. Road and Bridge.
Yeah.
So, if that department needed something from
Menards. So apparently they were.
Which is a big box store.
Yeah, well, they were buying pallets of asphalt that you fill like potholes with, and stuff like that. For just stuff Road and Bridge.
Pallets.
So we're being told it's a bunch, but again, it's all hearsay.
Yeah.
I don't know,
yeah,
and
we'll find out.
We need to go through the process.
And none of this good old boy network stuff either. That's unacceptable.
That's right. And guys, I'm gonna give you another little pointer. You want to be seen as a solution and not just seen as a problem. Be consistent. Right? I don't just pick on the Republicans. I don't just pick on the Democrats. I pick on both of them. I stand for freedom, and it doesn't matter if the commissioner's on the other side of that or someone in my own community is on the other side of that. I'm going to stand for freedom regardless. And I think if you do that, what happens is they begin to see you as, well, he's a pain in the ass, but he's consistent.
Yeah.
The commissioner.
He's consistently a friend.
Right. Well, one of the commissioners called me to thank me for my post because I stood up for them. And I told him I didn't do you any favors. I'm not trying to stand up for you.
No, he stands on the side of right.
I'm standing on the side of due process, which is guaranteed to us by the Fifth Amendment. That's it. I mean, I appreciate you like it, but that's not why I do it.
I didn't do it for you. I did it for
That's right.
me.
No, I did it because if we don't hold those principles, if it's okay to take someone's due process away from them because we disagree with them, then when the other team is in power, it's okay for them to do it to us.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't take a lot of rocket science to get here. To understand that our freedoms have to be absolute. Absolute free. No matter, it doesn't matter which one it is. They have to be absolute. Anyway, we'll post all of the community day events and all of that stuff on the Great Plains Homestead happenings on Facebook.
Have you put anything on there yet?
Not for the July, not yet.
Not
but
for July, for
I posted
April.
I posted some stuff on there already for that. Our next event will be July the 11th, and this is actually a picture from the last July event.
Yes.
This is actually fireworks being shot off of the dam of the pond, and this is just one of my favorite pictures. I don't even know why, but it's cool.
Beautiful.
It's just absolutely beautiful. I like it that you can, if you look close, you can see people sitting in chairs. You can see the water, right?
Yeah.
Because they're shooting it off the dam over there. I'll tell you, the people that put on the fireworks show asked permission this year. Could they do it a little bigger?
Oh, wow.
So what they mean by bigger is there's some, apparently what they call fire cannons. I don't know what they are. That they want to use some of them. And then also this firework, the one we did last year was 2 full songs of fireworks. And they want to do 4 this year.
Oh, my God.
So they're going to double. And it was long.
That's 8 minutes.
Yeah. So they want to do 4 songs this year. And so anyway, we just got to get it all put together, but I'm really excited about it. And what a great day to sit down with the people you give a shit about and, remember why we do all of the things that we do, right? So that we can all choose for ourselves how we live.
Yeah. I was just grateful that Indiana Mike was over there with somebody putting out fires.
Yeah.
Because, this thing lit off some fires.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a lot. It was
oh, yeah.
This fireworks show rivaled any of the town's fireworks shows, and you're so close to it, you're like right up underneath it because of how we do it, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Mandy says, whoa, that looks beautiful. Mandy, I'm going to tell you, you and your husband should come out and hang out with us, and it is absolutely amazing. And again, it will rival any towns, and it's just absolutely exceptional.
It is definitely remembering time to remember.
Yeah, if you guys want to actually see the fireworks show, I posted a video of it. Jim Gale was out that day, so it's on my YouTube channel, the whole fireworks show. And it's awesome.
He goes, whoa, there's more?
Yeah. Yeah. It was cool. Jen says, everyone bring your water trailers. Yeah, we'll have ours set up. It'll
1
be fine.
gallon buckets and some metal rakes, please.
Yeah. But, I mean, super, super cool, right?
Party favors.
I hope to see everybody there, and the more of you, I'd love to continue to meet people, and, and obviously the people that always keep coming, because you guys are the ones that make it work, and, we get a lot of credit for, all of the things that go on out here, but I'm going to tell you something that, Jen and Mike from Arkansas, and, Silver Lining, and, the Ambers, and American Roots, and, Indiana Mike and Jeanette, and, Lou and Gypsy, and, Scott and Nikki, and, Matt and Misha, and I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on of people who give of them.
Pippin put one on.
Pippin, right.
Yeah, you almost have to have a list of everybody to not forget anybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, a lot of people have taken their time to go through the rotation of doing the events, and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
But it gets more and more and more all the time. Luke and Camille, who just popped in and said our clan was so impressed, we're looking forward to July. I'm going to tell you something, Luke. The highlight of the spring event was your kids, for me. I spent plenty of time just watching them. Yeah. They're the how do I say this? They're a lot like the Amber kids in that they're these super well behaved feral children. I mean, they want to be outdoors and they want to be doing these things and racing down the hill. And
is that kid barefoot?
Yeah, they are just amazing children, and I loved watching them laugh. And I don't know how well they slept that night, Luke, but I would bet out would be my guess. But Luke came in and cooked steak while we were at this last one, and it's just there's so many people with their hands in it. I get a lot of credit for it, but I don't deserve the credit because the truth is, It ain't me. There's a whole lot more to it than that. And so for all of you people out there who put all that hard work, and it's not even hard work, your money and your time, you know, we had a farm, and if they don't care, I'll mention it, but because I know they're in here tonight, donate a whole cow.
Oh,
And
it was amazing.
we auctioned off an entire steer
cow.
in that steer, and it made one homesteader's whole day.
Oh,
They got in the cow business.
They're
And
like, we got a
on-
cow.
You're right. And on the other side, what it did is it helped fund the fireworks next. It's completely selfless. And you know, on both sides, the buyer knew where the money's going. It's going to do the fireworks. And then the person donating it knows what they're donating to. They're donating to the fireworks, right?
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. It's amazing to watch it all go. And
Oh, there was one of the people who went and paid for their stuff and was like, here's like a tip.
yeah,
And
Yeah.
I was like, somebody like gave you a tip? And the lady doing the money was that was collecting the money from the auction was like, yeah, she was like, yeah, I know it's going to a good thing. So yeah, it was just a donation towards the fireworks, because we do need to pay him something. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a lot of money out of that guy's pocket.
Luke says, yes, they were out that night. They are still talking about the weekend. Thanks for loving them so well. Oh, we love them. And, you know, Luke, I'm going to tell you something, buddy. I really look forward to developing my relationship with each one of them. You know, the Ambers, who I know you know the
You
Ambers,
can't find them.
I've known them their whole lives. And it's funny, you know, how your relationships grow over the years, you know, and I have a unique and individual relationship with each one of the Amber kids. And, you know, some of them I trip as they walk by, and, you know, some of them I'm
Yeah.
more sensitive to, and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. But I really look forward to getting to know them more and more and more. They're great kids. You guys have done a fabulous job. And, you know, they're most well-behaved kids I know, you know.
They're very
So,
quiet.
yeah, kudos, Luke, to you and Camille. You guys have done just an absolute fabulous job with them. And we, again, can't wait to get to know them more and more, and tell them this for me. I'm going to add on to the playground before the next event. So we're going to just keep adding on, and we're going to
gotta
build...
make it safer. We're gonna make it safer.
What part of it's unsafe?
Didn't one of the the hammock swing fall
No,
on one of the Ambers?
no.
I thought that
Oh,
the
no,
pole
no.
fell.
Yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. So we were out there constructing that new swing, and I had to go get a bolt, and the kids start playing with it. It's not even bolted in yet.
It was there.
Yeah,
It's
no,
open.
it's perfectly fine,
Open for
and it's
business.
perfectly safe. From Job says, till you get your Airbnb up and going, what or where you recommend a place to stay if we are
There's
out?
a couple of Airbnbs in the area.
Yeah, there's Airbnbs around us. There's hotels around us. There's a big casino resort 4 miles from here.
Mhm.
There's lots of stuff. We can work it out. But Mandy, seriously, if you guys, we would love to have you guys out. You know, you've been part of my YouTube experience and my journey since the very beginning. And you know, and I know so many people have talked to you right here on the live. I'd love to have you out where you can actually hang out with them and visit them. And you know, I went the first time I ever spoke at Self Reliance Festival, which I've spoke there like 7 times now. But the very first morning I met Mandy and her husband, and we went and had breakfast together in Camden, Tennessee.
That's great.
Yeah, and we, you know, kind of been friends ever since. So
Thank you for
but
putting up with them.
yeah, thanks for putting up with me, Mandy. And just if you really want to one of these times, get a hold of me. We'll make arrangements. We'll take great care of you guys. I promise you that. Jen says, still writing that one. Giddy still. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. Well, since she let the cat out of the bag, Mike and Jen bought the cow.
We're gonna go take pictures of the cow.
Yeah. So it's super, super, super exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know all of the details. Again, I'm not in charge of the event. The July event has its whole team, and they're working on. That's why, if you guys look here, I'll put it back up. Why my flyer isn't a flyer yet, because they're just not there yet.
Yeah.
They're working on the details. Well, all I know right
Who's
now.
doing the festival, for the July.
So Scott and Nikki, I know, are working on it. Silver Lighting said she'd like to participate in it, but I don't know who they've all got. I don't know who's all doing it. Scott and Nikki kind of lead it, but I don't. You know, Moo Moo Buckaroo and Command Hand
Mhm.
are in charge. So, but anyway, we'll get details pretty quick. But we know the date, and so we've got it locked in. And so now it's just a matter of putting all the little pieces together, and what are we eating, and you know, what are we going to do games that day? Because you know the fireworks don't start till it's dark. What
Yeah.
goes on the rest of the day? You know, do we do we get,
Is it
hit,
like 3 to 11?
Right.
Like, what time are we doing
Right.
it? We're not going to, it's not like, come at 9 a.m. and stay till, 11 o'clock.
yeah, I don't know what
That's
to
a
do.
long day.
Yeah, I don't know.
Unless you're vacuuming.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah.
you're part of the cleanup crew
Yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah. But it'd be cool. We're looking forward to it. It's my favorite one of the year.
July.
Yeah, because it's just
Freedom.
magnificent. And yeah, super, super
I
exciting.
keep wanting to say the 4th of July. It's not the 4th of July. It's the 11th of July.
Yeah, the reason why it's not the 4th is because the 4th, those firework teams have work to do. They have jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like last year, it fell on the 5th, and we could do it on the 5th because they had done everything on the 4th.
Yeah.
But because of how the weekends fall, this year it'll be on the 11th. Just how it works out.
Well, plus it'll give people opportunity to come that would normally be busy on the 4th.
Yeah. And they can see more than one fireworks show. They can go to one on the 4th, another one on the 5th, do one on the 3rd, and they'll see on the 11th.
There you go.
Right. I won't be doing that. But anyway, should we get to some good news tonight since we've already been at it an hour
Do you
and
have
30?
any? I thought we were just doing this all night.
No, I built a whole slide deck.
Oh.
I never know what's going on and or how far we'll get or how much talking we do,
Okay.
So anyway, let's get some good news. What do you guys think?
Sure.
So I don't know if you guys seen this or not, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just said live on Fox News, this is really interesting to me. He said, I want to encourage everyone watching today to change their withholding. It means that the U.S., and this is not him talking, his quote is, I want to encourage everyone watching today to change their withholdings. You know how if you're a W-2 employee, you go in there and claim 1, 2, 3, 5, whatever, right?
Yeah.
He's saying you need to change your withholdings because, well, there's several theories to this. Some people say what it means is the U.S. is about to eliminate income tax, which is one theory, right? But at the same time, simultaneously, Trump unveils what he calls the biggest tax cut plans in U.S. history, set to launch next month. If implemented, it will impact the impact is expected to hit fast. However, this is interesting to me because if you know how the system works, you know that the system makes billions from the interest and the cash that flow through those monthly withholdings. So they really want you to overclaim. They want to give you a refund. Okay, and the reason why they want, because they get your money up front and they get to use the money. And then you get your money interest without any interest.
Yeah, you get paid out of their profits.
Right. So they get to make the money on all of this. So we have our sitting U.S. Treasury Secretary saying we don't quit funding the government. That's what he's saying. He's saying don't give them as much money, right? And that's his own quote word. So one has to ask, why would this be? Why would they be calling for that? Now, so again, some people say they're about to eliminate income tax. I doubt that. I think what they're saying is, Trump thinks with the extra tax stuff that he's doing, and these are his words, not mine. He says the American households could keep an extra $11,000 to $20,000 in their yearly income on an average household with an average income of $77,000 a year, right? All the averages. That's significant. I mean, if you think about an average American, right, it makes $75,000 a year. If you're keeping an extra $20,000, that's a big deal. That's 30%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a significant deal. Now, again, it could all be smoke and mirrors. I know that you guys have experienced and I've experienced. Not everything Trump says actually happens, but there's a lot of bravado and stuff that goes on. But this would be a big deal, and I think this is probably the single best thing he could do to ensure the Republicans won at the midterms. Because a lot of people are really, really angry. It's funny. When I was talking to the commissioners, I tell them all the time, give the people a win.
Yeah.
Give them a win. You've heard me say this.
Yeah. And
I think with all the turmoil that's gone on in our country, if Trump was smart, he'd give the people a win. Mm-hmm. Permatopia says, "Thank you, Tag and B, for all you do. 100%. I am 100% committed, Mandy, to what we're doing." Terminator said, "Canada is screwed." Yeah, Canada is screwed. Nito says some states charge state tax on the IRS refund. Don't let Kansas hear that. Could you imagine?
No.
Yeah. Trump announces the end to income tax. It is he says, and the Trump goes on to quote, says, it's in the not too distant future. You won't have to pay income tax anymore. Again, could just be bravado, could just be him doing Trump things, but that would be great. What I find interesting is, you know, how the big pitch about not paying income tax was because of tariffs, right? This is what they were saying all along, that they'd be collecting these tariffs, and the judges have ruled that Trump charging tariffs, he didn't have the power to do that, and it's going through an appeals process and blah blah blah. But Trump just announced a $166 billion refund system launching Monday for American importers. Why does it exist? Because the Supreme Court ruled his tariffs unconstitutional. 330,000 importers, 53 million shipments, all taxed illegally. Trump has called this a national emergency. The Supreme Court said it wasn't. Now the government has to pay it back. So it's interesting to me that all within the same day, they're still talking no income tax, but now they're saying maybe they can't do the tariffs. So I don't know if you guys are clearer on what's going on, but I'm completely not.
Does that look like the same guy?
What's that?
Does that look like the same guy?
Yeah. Dana says, okay, what about property tax? If it's paid for, why do we keep? That's the magical question. I think it's crazy. If they would eliminate income tax, it would save all of us more money than it would property tax. But if I had to only pick one, I would pick get rid of property tax, because it's the one thing that stops you from ever actually being able to be free, right? You don't own your property.
Own it.
That's right. Nito said only lived in Oregon for 1 year because they include IRS refund as income for state tax. Oh my goodness. How is a refund of your income?
A refund.
So they take your income. I could write a book. Well, if they want UBI, which is universal basic income, then it won't matter because they'll just print more ones and zeros. Yeah, and there was a really interesting article that Elon Musk was an interview that Elon Musk did this week to talk a lot about UBI, and he was saying you could pay everybody a ton of money. That the way it's going, it won't make any difference. You could keep everybody a great life, and it ain't gonna matter. And this is what's coming. But that's scary too, guys. Anything you get for free means someone else worked for and didn't get paid for, right? So how does all that work? Anyway, what else? Breaking in the middle of the night. I don't know if you guys know this, but $40 billion, actually 40.4 to be exact, was printed out of thin air. Elon said that there was 14 magic money computers and they just all of them turned on simultaneously. Not a rumor, not a leak, not a prediction. The Fed officially restarted quantitative easing. You don't start quantitative easing if you think the economy is good, right? You don't do that. At the same time, BlackRock went all in and bought $420 million worth of Bitcoin. And then it was interesting. And I think this, I'm not going to say that. It's interesting to me that as soon as they announced that the Strait of Hormuz had opened, Bitcoin prices jumped, as you can see in the chart. That chart's very misleading. So I went to verify this, which I try to do for you guys as much as I can. And Bitcoin's up a little bit than it was in February, but it's still way down from its high.
So that's not accurate.
Well, this is accurate, but babe, we got to understand.
I can't see the numbers or anything.
Yeah, you got to understand when you're looking at this, what you're really looking at is right here. This little dip right here. You're not looking at this, right? So you got to put context to it, which is why I always try to go and verify what's going on. The Trump-Vance administration has dropped a bombshell on America's enemies, announcing that no more taxpayer dollars for hostile nations that hate America. I don't know how anybody could disagree with this, right? Except that what is the definition of hostile, right? And this is really, really important because does that, Italy, for example, which I'll talk about a little bit later tonight, Italy saying they won't support United States in its war in Iran, does that make Italy hostile? So I think that's the dangerous part of that. That Trump went on to say now that the Hormuz Strait situation is over. This is interesting. Over. I think it's far from over. I received a call from NATO asking if we would need some help. I told them to stay away unless they just want to load up their ships with oil. So there's a big feud, and you guys know this, going on between NATO and the United States. And it ain't going to end anytime soon. There's a lot of, really hurt feelings. But what I found interesting about that is that right after Trump announces that they've agreed on a deal, the Strait of Hormuz is open, that the English Prime Minister said, and I quote, myself and 49 other countries can declare that the Straits of Hormuz are now open. So England's taking credit for opening the Straits of Hormuz, the same country that wouldn't help when we went to battle with Iran, right? Now they're claiming that it's their coalition that got the Straits open. Italy has stopped attacking Trump and started criticizing America as a nation. President Trump said, and he was talking about Meloni, the head lady over there in Italy. She doesn't care if Iran acquires nuclear weapons and blows up Italy in 2 minutes. To which Meloni responded, as far as I know, 9 nations possess nuclear weapons and only one of them's ever used them, which is us, the United States, right? Hiroshima and Nagasaki. No one throws around nuclear threats like Washington. And so this is interesting. And I started thinking to myself, well, why would Italy? Italy was like a big MAGA supporting, country forever. Why the big turn? And then it dawned on me, why the big turn? I'm about to get to that, but Iran has just announced that, again, the Strait of Iran is fully open and ready for full passage, says Donald Trump. This was interesting too. The U.S. and Iran are discussing a deal to release about $200 billion in frozen funds in exchange for Iran giving up its enriched uranium. Key disputes remaining over handling of 2,000 kilograms of uranium, including 450 kilograms of 60% uranium, with the U.S. pushing to remove it and Iran preferring to downblend it. A compromise could split both opinions. So and I'll summarize this because, again, we're well into the live. But so basically what they're saying is they've reached a deal. Trump's saying that we're going to go in and actually I'll just read it from him. He says, we'll get all the nuclear dust created by our great B-2 bombers. No money will exchange hands in any way, shape, or form. This deal is no way subject to Lebanon either, but the U.S. will separately work with Lebanon. The deal with Hezbollah situation in an appropriate manner. Israel will not be bombing Lebanon any longer. They were prohibited from doing so by the United States. Thank you for blah, 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 President Trump. So basically what he's saying is that they're going to give up their nuclear weapons, and America's going to go in and get the nuclear weapons, and we're going to take it out. He's saying that he stopped Israel from doing any more bombing. So on the surface, this all sounds good, right? Mm-hmm. Peace is a wonderful thing. But I'm going to skip that one because I want to get to the Meloni one, which is interesting to me. So Iran goes on and says they have agreed, as President Trump says they've agreed to everything, and then Iran's foreign minister spokesman says none of what America has said regarding the uranium is acceptable. Iran's enriched uranium will not be transferred to any place under any circumstances, just like Iran's soil is considered sacred to us. This matter is also sacred to us. So you completely, as the reporter says, you completely deny the possibility, which Iran says this possibility has never been raised by Iran, not even once. And so basically now Iran is saying everything that Trump said isn't true.
Yeah, what's going on?
You tell me, Ben. You tell me. Remember I was talking to you about Meloni? I should have had this slide up there. But why all of a sudden Meloni wasn't friends? Well, it's because of the fight that Rome is having, right, with the Pope and with Trump. Did you read any of that? Okay, so basically the Pope came out and he condemned the United States for what it was doing over there in Iran, and it's not helpful in any way, and we're the bad guy and blah 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 blah. And so then of course Trump snaps right back, right, and bashes on the Trump and tells him he shouldn't be in politics and blah blah blah. But Meloni comes to the aid of the Pope, and he says it's her who's unacceptable because she doesn't care if Iran has nuclear weapons and would blow up Italy in 2 minutes, as I mentioned to you guys before. And so now there's a big feud going on between the Vatican and Trump, Italy and Trump, and about half of Europe and Trump. One thing I did find interesting about the Pope is he gave a sermon, and I put it in here because I think I'm not a Bible scholar, as many of you are, so you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this is right. So he said, Jesus told us, blessed are the peacemakers, but who to those who manipulate regions in the very name of God for their own military, economic, or political gain, dragging that which is sacred into darkness and filth. I don't think Jesus ever said that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I think he said, blessed are those peacemakers, but I don't think The rest of that was actually what he said. So someone correct me if I'm wrong. Is that actually something that Jesus said? Anyway, I found that interesting too. Let's see here. You guys, I don't know if you guys seen this. So Trump, this, and I verified, Trump did post this. See that picture?
Of him.
You have any problem with that?
He saying he's God?
Well, that's what the critic is, right? President Trump, in a viral image that was posted on Truth Social, he said it was not a depiction of him as Jesus Christ, but it was him as being depicted as a doctor. So Trump's saying that that picture is him as a doctor. It's not him as Jesus, even though there's angels in the background, and very. I mean, maybe it could be a doctor. What do you think?
What kind of med bed is he healing him with then? I mean, I don't know of any kind of doctor that, uses glowing light to make the...
Yeah. The reporter said, did you post that picture of yourself depicted as Jesus Christ? And Trump says, I did post it. And I thought it was me as a doctor and had to do with the Red Cross as the Red Cross worker there, which we support.
Where's the Red Cross? I don't see no... Oh, because there's a nurse there?
I am guessing. I don't know. But the most alarming thing about this is they were talking to Congressman Troy Niels, and he said, Donald Trump is the second coming.
Mm.
That, to me, is super worrisome. Right? Super worrisome. We have, yeah, that's not good. Oh, there you go. Gratitude to Grace says Jesus did not say that. I didn't think so. It didn't, again, I'm not a scholar. I've been through the Bible a few times in my life, but I don't recall him saying that. Now, this also, guys, is, it's a lot of tit for tat. So I think it's, hard to say, but I'm not a big fan of, it's probably the thing I like the least about Trump of all of it is all of the me stuff, name this after me. You should name this after me. I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, the thing is, if you're doing well, you don't have to speak. You let your actions speak for themselves.
What is that?
What's that? Something with wings up in the sky, right? That's what I'm saying. Is that an angel? Is that, I think it's disturbing. Let's see here. Gratitude to Grace says Matthew 5:9 said, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God. Right. And that's not what the Pope quoted.
Right.
So I wasn't very fond of that. This was interesting too. So Trump was asked to clarify his statement about why Christians won't need to vote again in 4 years. I don't know if you guys were familiar with this quote, but a little bit ago he said that, don't worry about the future. The country will be fixed and we won't even need your vote anymore because frankly, we will have such love. Some Trump supporters are angry because they think I'm taking his words out of context, but I'm suggesting that he's using the words very carefully, says Jack Straw. Trump knows the shift is near. Isn't it possible that while speaking to a group of devout Christians, Trump was referring to the rapture? Right, interesting. So he's talking about, maybe potentially talking about a rapture, and then all of a sudden, Marco Rubio comes out and says, we shot down 4 things over the United States, and 3 of them we have no idea what they are. For the first time in 65 years, the United States shot something down over our airspace, but not once, but 4 times. 3 of those 4 things we have no idea. We've been seeing objects flying over restricted airspace. Immediately, it was about UFOs and flying saucers and aliens. These are important questions the American people deserve to know. And then right after that, some of Trump's staff comes out and says they're going to begin to release some of the UFO files. Which then, isn't that remarkable? Right after that, you start seeing all kinds of reports. Right? These are all this month. There was a UFO reported spotted in multiple counties around the world, most recently spotted in Buenos Aires, Argentina. There was a cluster spotted over a military base in Texas, another bunch spot over Orlando, Florida. So I think that's crazy to me that did Trump and the aliens just work out the timing right?
This was at nighttime too, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, did they work it out with the aliens? Did they know it was coming, or did it just a coincidence? I mean, I don't know. It seems pretty fishy to me. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because Nito said, I took the post that Trump is caring for people standing between them and the demons. Just my interpretation. Yep. The whole Jen says the whole thing was poor taste. I won't speak or write the name of the entity. Look alike in the top center, but this one is done in poor taste, in my opinion. Yeah, Jen, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I think you got to be really careful as a leader to say, look at me, look at me, look at me. You know, you really, I think to be a good leader, you know, one of my favorite quotes in business when I was, you know, kind of coming up in the business world is this guy named Al Raji told me, he said, a leader's job is done when the people say, look what we did. And I always remembered that, you know, not look what I did, right? You give credit and, you know, you don't take it. Maybe I'm from a different time. I don't know. I'll run through this quick. I don't know if you guys know this, but the right wing AFD party won massively in Germany. This is good news. Hungary, the candidate who defeated Prime Minister Viktor Orban, is saying no more immigration here. Poland's far right president just posed with his veto vote posing the European regulation on digital services. They're saying no digital ID here. So there's some wins going on there as well. Let's see here. Conservative Friend says, still waiting for the report about all the drones off of New York City and New Jersey. I seen a video of a bunch of those off in New York City, but it looked AI generated, which is why I didn't add it. It's so hard to tell today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really hard to tell. I'll skip that one because it's all about Russia. Again, just because we're going to run out of time.
5 minutes.
Interesting. China withdrew 890 billion yen from its liquidity before the U.S. market opened, and the market increased. Imagine that. So there's a bunch. So you guys just know real quick here. There's a bunch of food supply warnings going on in UK and Australia. Again, I won't read them because we're running out of time. But Europe and Australia are going to get hit particularly hard right here, and we need to watch them because what happens there will be here eventually. Beekeepers in New Zealand have begun, by government mandate, having to burn all of their hives. They're trying to stop the spread of some mite. You know, get rid of the bees. That's
the
a good
varroa
idea.
mite?
Yeah. This I don't know which mite. One
And
of
that is their key. Their
burn them all.
fix was to burn them
Burn
all.
them all. Yep. Even the healthy ones, burn them. Get rid of the bees. That was a good idea. Right?
Wow.
Yeah. Jen says, a load of scriptures cherry picked and taken out of context. One would do well to read it in its entirety. Yeah, you try to.
That's
but
usually the case.
Yeah, that's usually the case, but I try to. I did find it interesting. American Homesteader talked about he was getting ready to go buy another half of beef, and that at their local Walmart they're now selling a beef pork blend for hamburger
At that store.
to keep the price of it down.
Yeah, because beef is quite expensive at the store. Your mom
Yeah.
opted not to get beef and just get turkey,
Yeah.
ground turkey.
Yeah.
Because she was like, there's no way I'm paying that.
Well, that's interesting that you can get it for, you know, $1.99 a pound blended with pork, you know, and I bet you everybody will run to that corner, you know, of doing that. Walmart's also offering discounts for outdated beef. Look at how gray it is.
Yeah.
I was doing a little reading about that, and they were talking about how they actually inject it with,
Dye.
I want to say nitrogen. No, the gas, let me see here. Carbon monoxide, sorry. So the injected carbon monoxide is deliberately pumped into many grocery store ground beef packages. The gas is what gives the meat the beautiful red color.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think so too. In case any of you guys know, lab-grown chocolate is expected to hit shelves in 2027. Oreo, Cadbury, and Toblerone are already funding the biotech lab-grown chocolate. Yummy, yummy. Bad news for egg lovers as tests reveal Vital Farms pasture-raised eggs contain more linoleic acid than a spoonful of rapeseed oil. That's not good for you. And Wall Street Apes showed a video of a guy in New York City buying a bowl of fruit that was $40.60.
Oh. Wow.
Hey, RN, I don't know if I welcomed you in or not. Good to see you. Let's see here. Jen says, grow and put up as much as you can. With the fuel charges increasing and more lab food-like products being produced, do your best to make it for yourself and source it as clean as possible. Totally agree.
Yeah.
Gratitude to Grace says, I heard that the photo of Trump posted was a repost that originated from a foreign adversary in hopes Trump would repost propaganda and to create more division. Trump's ego took the bait. Yeah, that might be. Again, when I seen it, I'm like, no way. And actually, it's funny. Me and Mario have gone and dug into some of these to try to see if they were right. But I went back and I looked on Truth Social, and he said he did say it, or he did post it. I guess he didn't say he said it. He said I did post
I
it.
posted it.
Yeah. RN says I have seen ground meat, not ground beef or pork or turkey. Ground meat. Yum. Let's race to that deal, right?
I bet it's on sale.
Yeah. Rasmussen reports polling shows that now 4 out of 5 Americans believe the weaponization of government is our serious threat. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirms an executive order that is forcing U.S. banks to collect proof of citizenship is in process, meaning they want to collect a proof of citizenship in order to have a bank account. But this confuses me because I've went and got many bank accounts, and I have to provide a social security number and all that to get a bank account.
Mm-hmm.
So why? I guess I don't understand why we need an executive order requiring proof of citizenship if they already require proof of citizenship. Anyway, the housing market, home sellers are now outnumber buyers by 630,000, and home sales just hit the lowest levels since the 2008 financial crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting, right?
Yep. That doesn't surprise me.
Yep. I'll run through this really, really quick. All of those lists from Carl's Jr., Eddie Bauer, Popeyes, Applebee's, Round Table Pizza, Fatburger, all of these. This is all first quarter bankruptcies and companies. And we added on this week, Spirit Airlines looks like they're going to have to either file bankruptcy or liquidate or something like that. And QVC, the online shopping network, will file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Huh.
Pretty interesting, huh? I won't read that. I'll just show you guys the pictures. There's a lot of the flock cameras that are being vandalized across our country. There were some reports in Austin, Texas, and some in Louisiana, and kind of all over, where people are knocking down these flock cameras. They don't like being spied upon, apparently, and even giving you advice of go buy these little sprayers and you can cover the cameras, and here's a website that helps you avoid
I'm pretty sure
cameras.
you get in trouble for doing that.
You absolutely get in trouble for doing that. The interesting one, Appalachian Liberty said, if you have any family or old acquaintances with a drug problem, don't forget to mention to help. The help is available, and that the average flock camera has $200 in silver in it. I mean, that's destruction of property.
Wow.
Right? That's absolutely not good. Mexico is going to mandate digital ID in order to in order to buy anything, and also for their cell phone. If you don't have a digital ID, you're not going to be able to get cell phone service. They want to have that in by December 31, 2026. Pretty exciting, right?
No.
Yeah. You guys know Pam Bondi got fired. This was a couple weeks ago, but I just wanted to tell you guys that Todd Blanche, who took over for Bondi, said that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked no one, and the Department of Justice has no intention of prosecuting anyone connected to this moving forward. Right on the heels of that, I'm sure everyone's feeling fine. Tom Hanks has decided that he will introduce a new brand of coffee called Hanks. It has it has a special sauce in it, but he won't tell you what it is. In a mind,
Hanks.
Hanks. Yeah, so I think it's just absolutely crazy. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Absolutely crazy. Oh, I think that was my last slide. Pretty cool. That was good timing.
Talked fast.
I know, right? Look at that. Pretty exciting. 2 hours and 2 minutes in. Well, guys, special thanks out to everybody who gives and gives and gives and gives and gives without any expectation. Those are my kind of people. Yeah. I will do it too. You're not alone. And I look forward to the next event. I hope everybody can make it. I'm super glad to get back to it here on our normal live. And B, you got anything to sum us all up for tonight? You want me to start?
Get busy.
Get busy is a good one.
Busy.
Yeah, planting time is here.
Time.
Yep. We're busy in the garden. I think what Jen said earlier was, just grow as much as you can, put up as much as you can. But it's really not about growing. To me, it's really about trying to separate ourselves from the system. And it's about insulating, not isolating. Right?
Yeah.
It's really important. We want to insulate ourselves from the effect of the system. We don't want to isolate ourselves from it. Yeah. Because you're going to need that along the way too. Go yoke up, find some community, and we will see you guys in a week.
Be out.
Tag out. Well, good night, everybody.